let's go through the Eisners. We can stay on a little longer. Why not? So the Eisner Awards are always announced at San Diego Comic-Con. And here were the winners. Let me share my screen. So this is coming from comicsbeat.com, the Heidi McDonald website. And this was these are the winners of the Eisners for 2025. We got some Eisner Award or Eisner Hall of Fame inductees: Junji Ito, Kyle Baker, Eddie Campbell, Ross Chast, Dan Clowes, Todd Klein, John Romita Jr. An amazing Hall of Fame class. Every one of those cartoonists or writers or letterers or mangaka deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And then we got the winners here. So the best short story went to Spaces by Phil Jimenez in DC Pride 2024 #1. I did not read this, so if anybody else read this, let me know if I need to seek it out. I mean, obviously it won an award, so it should be worth reading, right? Trying to see if there's anything else on here. Day 1703 by Chris Ware and Smoke Signal. I did read that. That one's really great. Ross Murray is Anything Sinister, and Now 13. I read that. Now is a great anthology. Oh, Now 13 also had You Cannot Live on Bread Alone by Kayla E., which was a serialized chapter from Precious Rubbish, which I expect Precious Rubbish should be nominated for Eisner's next year. That's one of my favorite books I've read this year so far, for sure. So congrats to Phil Jimenez there. Best single issue one shot went to The War on Gaza by Joe Sacco. So Joe Sacco wrote Palestine, which was his kind of journalistic comic where he went to Palestine and reported on what he was seeing there from like years ago. I forget when that was done. Just recently reprinted by Fantagraphics in hardcover. This is kind of the follow-up of it, The War on Gaza, with more present day stuff, and this was done in a single issue. Other ones that I read here, Ice Cream Man number 39. I'm not surprised it's on there, but I've not read the issue yet. Absolutely love Ice Cream Man. It's my favorite comic book series. And one thing I love about it is that each issue is like one and done, and definitely lends itself to this category for sure. Pee Pee Poo Poo number 1 by Caroline Cash. Oh, okay. I was confused by the numbering. I was like, wait a minute. Pee Pee Poo Poo did not have a number 1 issue. It did actually, because this is like the 5th or 6th issue by Caroline Cash. But it's number 1. All the numbers have been silly. It's been like 420, 69. I think one spelled out boobs on a calculator. This lending itself to the humor from Caroline Cash. But yeah, Pee Pee Poo Poo number 1 was on here. And I think she won the Eisner last year. So she was nominated this year, but did not win. Unwholesome Love by Charles Burns was also great. But War on Gaza won it. Everybody comment down below if you have any thoughts on some of these nominations or things that I don't know much about. I love hearing you guys' recommendations as well. Best continuing series, Santos Sisters with the win. Josh, here you go. I have a video on the Santos Sisters hardcover for Fantagraphics. I was shocked at this one. This is the single issue continuing series that won. So it was credited to Floating World because they're the publisher of the single issues. Fantagraphics did the hardcover collection of the first 5 issues, I think. And I love this series. It's done with like a Archie Comics kind of kitsch look to it, but done with more of a Gen Z modern humor and storytelling. Fantastic series. Other nominations, Department of Truth. Absolutely love that series. And that's the only one I've read off this list. Fantastic Four by Ryan North. I'm very excited to read, but I've not read that yet. Best limited series went to Zatanna, Bringing Down the House by Marika Tamaki and Javier Rodriguez. That was a graphic novel, I believe. Or was it single issues? This is limited series, so I'm assuming it's single issues. I'm kind of surprised that Helen of Windhorn did not win by Tom King and Bilquis Elderly, but I digress. And then best new series was Absolute Wonder Woman by Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman. I've not read any of the Absolute series from DC. I've not read any of these series, actually. Best new series. I do want to read Minor Arcana, though. Anything that Jeff Lemire writes and draws, I want to read. And this is supposed to be he wrote in his newsletter, which I think is Substack, through Substack, that this series he's doing with Boom Studios, Minor Arcana, is like his new ongoing. Like he said, he misses doing like long ongoing series, and he misses that kind of format with books or with comics because now they're all like graphic novels or written as small story arcs or things. So this is supposed to be a longer ongoing series from him. Ice Cream Man 39 took place in a single car wreck in a mind-bending story of everything happening during the wreck decompression. It was incredible and made me feel weird feelings. That's amazing. Thank you, Derek, for letting me know that. That's the kind of storytelling I love from Ice Cream Man. Is Martin Morazzo and I'm drawing a blank again. Who's the writer? Well, Maxwell Prince and Martin Morazzo, and they just tell these like they're playing with the comics medium too, the way they tell their stories sometimes. Like they're just having fun with it, making these single one and done stories, and it's amazing. We need to get volume 3 of the Sunday editions, by the way. We've seen it pop up in the catalog and then disappear from the catalog. I'm hoping we get those Sunday editions for the whole series because, again, it's one of my favorite modern series for sure. Sunflowers by Keezy Young for the single issue one shot was great. What was that? Who published that? Silver Sprocket, Keezy Young Sunflowers. I'm going to add that to my list. Ice Cream Man is consistently always my favorite comic on the shelf. It never misses. I agree. And I love the fact that they focus in on one and done stories, which lends itself perfectly for comic book shops that you can go in and pick up any issue of Ice Cream Man and enjoy it, no matter what the number is. Some of these categories I didn't even vote for any of the nominees. I just shook my head. Harvey Picar's Ghost, thank you for joining me. I haven't seen or heard or talked to you in a long time. I've missed you. Let me go down to where I was, which was Best Publication for Early Readers. The winner was Hilda and the Twig Hide from the Rain by Luke Pearson. Not surprised. It's a great series. Hilda is always great. I have not read any of the other ones, though. Best Publication for Kids was Plain Jane and the Mermaid by Vera Brosgol. First, second, and Macmillan. Surprisingly, I've not read any of these, and my son hasn't read any of these either. Interesting. I fully suspect the Scott McCloud, Raina Telgemeier comic book club book will be. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the winner or nominated for this category. Or do they have a young adult? Oh, Best Publication for Teens. It'll probably be in that category. Never mind. So speaking of which, Best Publication for Teens was Lunar New Year Love Story by Jin Luin Yang and Li Yuan Pham by First Second. Jin Luin Yang, previous Eisner winner. Love his stuff. Superman Smash the Clan is amazing. I have a video on that, Josh, which I nominated for maybe possibly the great American novel of comics. And also Jin Luin Yang did Dragon Hoops, which is great. But some of the other ones on here, The Golf, Out of Left Field, I'm not familiar with any of these as well. Again, if you're familiar with any of these, let me know. Oh, Josh Brogan says Plain Jane was great too. I'll add it to the list. Best Humor Publication, Processing, 100 Comics That Got Me Through It by Tara Booth from John and Quarterly. I need to check that out. I'm going to add that to my list as well. Kids Are Weird and More Options for Parenthood, Jeffrey Brown. Jeffrey Brown's always great. Forces of Nature by Edward Steed. That one I've had on my radar, and I've heard people say that is hilarious. So I need to check that out as well. Best Anthology, Godzilla's 70th Anniversary, edited by Jake Williams and others. We had EC Crew Universe nominated. Now, that's interesting. Now, the New Comics Anthology number 13 had 2 short stories nominated, but did not win the Best Anthology. That's interesting. Sew Buttons by Jonathan Bayliss. That's a long time running self-published comic. And then Peep number 1 by Sammy Harcum, which I still need to pick that up. I think Harvey Picar's Ghost, told me about that one. So still need to pick up Peep number 1. I need to add that to my list. I'm going to have a long list after this video, which I appreciate. But Godzilla's 70th Anniversary, I did not read that. However, Jake Williams is the editor of the Godzilla books over at IDW, and I absolutely love and adore all the stuff that he's talking about with this new Godzilla ongoing series and universe that he's creating over there with all of his great cartoonists and writers. So I'm super stoked for that. I don't know if this was his first Godzilla project with IDW, because I think he is newer to their company. But maybe I should check that out as well. Peep #1 was amazing. Yeah, see, I think Harvey, you tipped me off to that one. I just need to pick it up still. And I love Sammy Harcum. Can't go wrong with that. Quality Pictures not even getting a nominated for Best Anthology is crazy. Yeah, that was a good one. I don't even know what the nomination process is for these, for the Eisners. Do they have like a small group that does the nominations? I know how the voting works, but not the nominations. Best reality-based work was the suffrage song, The Haunted History of Gender and Race and Voting Rights in the U.S. by Fantagraphics, or from Fantagraphics by Caitlin Cass. I've not read that one. That's been on my radar. Obviously, it's Fantagraphics, and I try to read most everything they do. But that one slipped through. And The Puerto Rican War, a graphic history by Jean Vasquez Mejias. I've read some of that. I think some of that was available online that I've read, but I've not read the actual physical copy. Or maybe I follow him on Instagram. That one sounds familiar. Best graphic memoir. Feeding Ghosts, a graphic memoir by Tessa Holes. We got something that, interesting. I wonder would Precious Rubbish be qualified for this category next year? That's pretty much a graphic memoir. Best graphic album, Lunar Year by Jinlu Yang and Liam Pham. Final Cut not winning is interesting. Or my favorite thing is Monsters or Sunday. Interesting. Wow. This is the category I think I did talk to Harvey Picard's Ghost about this in the DMs, because there's three in this category that I would have had trouble picking. But Sunday by Olivier Schwan should have. I mean, I shouldn't say should have won because I've not read Lunar New Year Love Story, so I can't speak to that. But Sunday by Olivier Schwan was the best thing I read last year. Absolutely amazing. Final Cut by Charles Burns, also amazing. I have a video on my channel for that one. And my favorite thing is Monsters Book 2 was also great. Best graphic album reprint. The One Hand and the Six Fingers by Ram V, Dan Waters, Lawrence Campbell, and Sumit Kumar. I've not read this one, but I do know that I was part of the video that Omar does over at Near Make Edition, showing off like all these different YouTube comic book creators or comic content creators. And like they nominate what they thought was the best read of 2024. And a lot of people said this book. So I need to check that out. But nothing else on there that I'm familiar with. Best adaptation from another medium, The Road by Cormac McCarthy, adapted by Manu Larsenet, by Abrams. This is another Abrams comic arts book that I need to check out. I did read Winnie the Pooh by A. Milne, and adapted by Travis Dandro. I have a video on my channel showing off that book, and it was phenomenal. I really enjoyed that book. Don't know much about the other ones. Best U.S. edition of international material, The Jellyfish by Boehm, translated by Robin Lang and Helge Dasher, Pow Pow Press. Haven't read that, but I have read Mothballs by Solitero. I have a video on that. It was fantastic. And Sunday by Olivia Schwan, again, not winning. How did Sunday not win? That book is amazing. I recommend anybody that's watching this video, if you've not read that, check out Sunday. It's a phenomenal read. Best U.S. edition of international material, Asia. Which one won this one? Oh, Tokyo These Days by Taya Matsumoto. Absolutely love that. That series has been amazing. Taya Matsumoto is my favorite mangaka of all time. Not surprised there. Search and Destroy Volume 1 by Atsushi Kaneko is also great, though. That's Fantagraphics. I have a video on that one. And then Ashita no Joe, Fighting for Tomorrow, I want to pick up that. I've not read that. I'm assuming next year we'll have some interesting editions for that, because we have some really cool manga being reprinted finally, or printed for the first time in English. Best archival collection was Thorn, the complete proto bone strips from 82 to 86. That's the aforementioned Jeff Smith, his early drawings back when he was in college before he made Bone. Other ones on here. Oh, Frank Johnson, Secret Pioneer of American Comics was great. I love that book. And Stan Mack's Real Life Funnies I've not read, and I've not read All in the Line either. Best archival collection project, comic books. This is where David Mazzucchelli, Batman Year One, kind of swept all the Eisners they were nominated for. It won this one for sure. The collection is amazing. I have a video on this one that's designed by Chip Kidd, which made it just took it up another notch, but includes every single page of David Mazzucchelli's Batman Year One, which could be possibly the greatest drawn Marvel or DC comic book of all time. It's up there for sure. Not surprised that it won here, but there are some other great additions in here. The Complete Web of Horror by the aforementioned Dana Andra, who was in the chat. Great book. It's been reprinted by Fantagraphics. I'm hoping to do a video of that this Halloween for my 31 Days of Horror. The Farewell Song of Marcel LeBroom. I have a video on that one by Attilia Micheluzzi. I don't think Josh is going to be able to keep up with all these videos I'm shouting out, which is fine. You don't have to post every single one. The DC Comics Style Guide looked great. I have not picked that up yet. And Wally Wood from Wits End, I have not picked that up either, but I definitely want to own it. X-Men Manga Remastered, I have a video showing that off. And I think it's called like Marvel Does Manga. It was fun. It was a fun read, really well designed book. The book looks great. I don't think I would have voted it to win here, but it was a cool release regardless. Best comics related periodical journalism. I'm here on comicsbeat.com showing this off to you. And look who won. The Beat by Heidi McDonald. I've been reading a lot of old Amazing Heroes issues from the 80s. Again, working on a project that I'm not ready to announce yet. But so I've been going back and reading a lot of this old stuff. And Heidi McDonald wrote a lot of stuff back then for Amazing Heroes. So that's cool. Best comics related book. Tell Me a Story Where the Bad Girl Wins, The Life and Art of Barbara Sherman. I have a video on this book and some other good ones in here. American Comic Book Chronicles 45 to 49. I've not read that volume, but those books are amazing from Tomorrow's. If you want to check those out. They've done one for every decade. It looks like they split the 40s maybe into 2 volumes, but regardless, if there's a decade of comics that you're interested in, pick up that volume of American Comic Book Chronicles and it's a treat. Kate Carew, America's First Great Woman Cartoonist by Eddie Campbell. I've not picked that up, but it does look great. Q&A by Adrian Tomine. I have that book and it's awesome. I don't think I would have voted it to win. Reading Love and Rockets by Mark Sobel. That might have been torn between that and Tell Me a Story Where the Bad Girl Wins. Both those were really, really great. Walt Disney's Donald Duck, The Ultimate History. I have that book. I've not done a video on it yet, though. I need to. But Tell Me a Story Where Bad Girl Wins is awesome. Caitlin McGurk did all the writing and work in that. And also got a there was like, what is it, that Sunday morning show that does like, I don't know. They did a feature on it though. It was really cool. Best academic scholarly work was Drawing the Feminine Bande Dessinée and Women, edited by Margaret C. Flynn from Ohio State University Press. Ohio State University is where the aforementioned Billy Ireland Museum is in. I've not read that book though. I'm not familiar with any of these books actually. From Gum Wrappers to Richie Rich, the materiality of cheap comics. That's going on my radar. The title sounds very interesting. Again, I love comics. I love books about comics, so that's a category I'm interested in. Best publication design went to David Mazzucchelli, Batman Year One, designed by Chip Kidd. So Chip Kidd won that Eisner, which I think he's won some before. Some other great ones in here. Bill Ward, the Fantagraphics Studio Edition. Oh, Brian Boland, the Batman Killing Joke and Other Stories. I think the design of the book is great. I think Chip Kidd did a little bit better with Batman Year One, so I'm not going to argue against that one. But I do have a video showing off the Killing Joke book, and it is amazing. It's not just Killing Joke. There's so much Brian Boland artwork in that book. It's definitely a book that I've revisited since then. Like, I just read Animal Man, so I went to see if there's Animal Man art in there, and there is. Scott Pilgrim, the box set was on here, and the Walt Disney Donald Duck Ultimate History. I couldn't figure out what to vote for between Sunday and Final Cut. I agree. Both those were great. I would have voted Sunday though. I think I liked it just a little bit more than Final Cut. Final Cut's amazing though. I voted for Complete Web of Horror. Dana's gonna love to hear that when she comes back and watches the stream. Hidden Life of Trees was pretty great, and Jellyfish was great from Chris Brogan. Chris reads like a ton of comics. I think he's always showing off his haul from his library. His library is a great system. I would have given in the American Comic Book Chronicles. That series is amazing. I really do. I need to pick up some of the volumes I'm missing still. And Tomorrow's is a great publisher for that kind of stuff. Best digital comics, those are like their web comics. The winner went to My Journey to Her by Yuna Hirasawa through Kodansha. Oh no, that's best digital comic. Then we have best web comic is a different category. All right. So was that just like Kodansha did the digital version and it's not released a physical version? What's the difference here? Life After Life for the webcomic here. Why wasn't Bang the Battle of the Tiger on here, Josh? Who do we need to talk to about nominating you? Best Writer went to Gene Lewin Yang for Lunar New Year's Love Story. James Tynion, Kelly Thompson, Ram V, and Tom King were the other nominees. And they have a Best Writer Artist right here. This is a different category. This is when you get the cartoonists that both write and draw their comics. So we have Charles Burns won, rightfully so, for Final Cut, Unwholesome Love, which both got nominations in the Eisners, and then Comics, which is a great book showing off these fake comic book covers from Charles Burns. Emil Ferris was nominated. My favorite thing is Monsters Book 2. Definitely agree with that one. Olivier Schwan, again, so many nominations, but never won. That's sad. Olivier Schwan is amazing. Best Penciler Inker or Penciler Inker Team went to Bilkis Evely for Helen of Windhorn. Also was the artist on the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow book. Other ones in here. Oh, Manu Larsenet did the road for the Abrams, the book that was best adaptation of a different medium. Interesting. Then we got Best Painter Multimedia Artist, Eduardo Rizzo won for the Blood Brothers Mother for Distillery. And then Best Cover Artist went to Tula Late for Mellow of Windhorn #1, Count Crowley, Dawn Runner, Somna, and other titles in a Horizon Experiment. Hayden Sherman was on here, Bilkis Evely. Hold on a second. Why wasn't Alex Ross on here for his Fantastic Four work? His current work is amazing, period, Alex Ross stuff. But his Fantastic Four covers were great. Like he really was varying his compositions and working with different methods and things and stuff. He's leveled up since he where he originally was. Can't believe he wasn't on there. Best coloring went to Jordi Belair. Jordi Belair is a great colorist. All the things I said earlier about comic coloring, Jordi Belair is one of the good ones. Matthias Lopez, I like his coloring too. Javier Rodriguez, Dave Stewart, one of the all-time great colorists. I think he's always nominated in this category. Best lettering went to Clayton Cowles for Animal Pound, Helen of Windhorn, FML, Absolute Batman, among others. Emil Ferris was nominated also. That's always a fun category, the letters get real bent out of shape when it goes to someone that's not like a traditional letterer like Clayton Cowles is right here. When it goes to like if it went to like Emil Ferris on My Favorite Thing is Monsters, like she letters her own work, but she's not a letterer in comics that does multiple projects. I don't know. It's always funny to hear that, but I think the lettering that Emil Ferris did in My Favorite Thing is Monsters is great. That's it. That's all the categories. Well, there you go. All right, everybody, thank you for joining me. Thumbs up, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. I'll see you next week for the live show, but I'll have videos on my channel throughout the week of pre-recorded stuff as well. Everyone, keep talking comics.